Wow. That's really all I can say right now is wow. When it rains, it pours. Sup, Mactown Tony? Welcome to the stream. 10, 24 to 10. I'm glad this is blowing up in Tepper's face. Blowing up is an understatement. This is awful. Awful is an understatement. Injuries. Robbie Anderson cussing out the wide receivers coach and getting kicked back to the locker room. Offense, once again, can't even get an offensive touchdown. PJ Walker only threw downfield one time. One time. Defense getting our only touchdown, a pick six again. Like, does anybody even care anymore? Like, offense, like, what are y'all so scared for? You scared to let PJ Walker throw down the field? Like, what are y'all scared for? If the whole idea is, oh, we're not going to do anything this season, why not take some chances? Take some shots downfield. Like 10 of 16, 60 yards? Really? 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 10 of 16, 60 yards. Wow. Wow. By the way, Mr. Carolina will be joining as well shortly. What's up, KT? CJ Stroud 2023, Ben McAdoo is trash. Mactown Tony, Mr. Richardson's got to be pissed. Facts, 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 and facts. And of course, our longest play, Christian McCaffrey. Robbie Anderson not playing, cussing out the wide receivers coach, getting sent to the back. Uh, JT Stonehands is our leading receiver of the season so far. Just saying. He's our leading receiver for the season so far. He might not be DJ Moore, but he's our leading receiver this season so far, statistically. Just saying.
Yes, sir.
What's up, bro?
The booze content in my body. That's what's up. Not gonna lie to you. The booze content.
Like, can it really get worse?
You know what? For the first half, I'm not even gonna lie. I had hope. I had the smidget of hope because we got back to running the ball. I like that. But if every other play is a screen pass, um, these are grown men that get paid to play this game. These are professional coaches that get paid to coach this game. At some point, you got to take a shot down the field. At some point,
Bro.
we didn't get into the red zone, fam, until the 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Again,
10 of 16, 60 yards. Wow.
you got some QBs that do that in a quarter.
Like Ben McAdoo, what is he scared of? Does he not trust PJ Walker that much to take a shot downfield? Like really?
But weeks prior, you have no problem letting Baker Mayfield launch it downfield, throw the ball 50 times a game. We have no problem letting Baker Mayfield do that. And I get it. Like, I honestly get it. We're on to our fifth string quarterback. Excuse me. PJ Walker is the fourth string quarterback. Cool. But he has had somewhat success throwing the ball down the field in the NFL.
We've seen it
He actually,
before.
yeah, he can actually throw the ball. So I don't understand run, screen, run, screen, run, screen, run, screen. Do you not understand we're down our top three defensive backs? JC Horn's not playing. Dante goes out with an ankle injury. Again,
Yep.
Jeremy Chin's not playing. Like, I just, at some point, we have to get aggressive on offense. And it's like we refuse to do it. Flat out refuse to do it. And then your boy, I get being frustrated. I get it. But Robbie Anderson, if you know, fam, if you know, as a professional football player, hell, as a college football player, as a semi-pro football player, if I'm down to my fourth string quarterback, third string quarterback, technically PJ Walker would have been the fourth string quarterback. Matt Carroll wouldn't have got hurt.
True.
So I'm down to my fourth string quarterback. What do you expect is going to happen with the fourth string quarterback? Okay. You cannot get into an altercation in the game. Mind you, at the point when they got into the altercation, we were still in the game.
Right. That's true.
So you pick now. That's why I said, I texted you. So I get it. I'm a competitive dude myself.
Right.
I get being frustrated. But if we're still in the game with a fourth string quarterback, you cannot pick that time, my dude. It's either your wide receiver coach's face. Not once, twice.
Right.
It's not it's timing. I was listening, my wife and I would listen to a message from TD Jakes. I don't know if many of y'all, well, unless you live on the rock, you know who TD Jakes is. He talked about timing. That was the wrong time to have that blow up. You could have picked it in halftime. You could have picked it after the game. You could have done it privately, say, hey, coach, I need to talk. Not then, when you know we probably could have used you. But I get it. They're actively shopping you. So you want to let them know, hey, you're shopping me. That's what you ever seen a kid throw a temper tantrum in a store and they're not getting their way? That's what that was. That was a temper tantrum in a store because you weren't getting your way. And I'm showing you, I don't want to be here. Cool. You know what? We got a second round pick that can match your production, because you're not really that productive here anyway. You're a one-trick pony. Send him to whoever. And that's why I said people get on DJ Moore, but I respect DJ Moore. He shows so much class. I know he's frustrated. I know he's pissed off.
Yeah.
Because he's used to productive seasons. We're not having a productive season. He's not having a productive season at all. And
the sad thing is, statistically, this season, Robbie is our leading receiver. Not by a lot, but yeah.
And we did it again, which I can understand it, but I don't. You cannot force feed Christian McCaffrey all game. I get it, fourth string quarterback. You cannot force feed. And it's sad because at one play, Jalen Ramsey blew Christian McCaffrey up.
Yep.
I felt bad for dude because everybody knew who the ball was going to. We all know. The whole stadium knew because we kept feeding the same person all game. And this is why people say, if you stop Christian McCaffrey, you can stop the Carolina Panthers, because we give you the script. We're going to throw it to 22. We're going to hand the ball off to 22. Every now and then, we gave the ball to 33. Because Foreman showed he can run the ball. Every now and then, we'll do something to Chuba Hubbard. Every now and then, we'll screen pass to DJ Moore. Robbie Anderson had, I don't know if he had any targets today. He had no catches.
Nope.
We had Tommy Tremble, who we had I still have high hopes for, has 0 catches. We have no identity for real as an offense.
Yeah.
There's no identity.
And I feel even worse for PJ after taking that hit, that second sack. And he's
that was a clear helmet to helmet.
Yeah, that definitely was a helmet to helmet. But he's in the concussion protocol now.
Which that leaves us with a 5th string quarterback, because Baker Mayfield, as tough as he wants to be, and whoop, you're not coming out there on a bum high ankle sprain, dude. You already weren't good enough with a healthy ankle. Now you go try to hop out there with a bad ankle. Don't play the hero, dude. Don't play the hero. And I joke with my son. We sitting here watching the game. I said, at this point, give number 1 a call.
Here's the thing, though, and as a matter of fact, being that you have mentioned that Deacon Frost in the chat mentioned that we need Cam. Here's the thing. Three things that I want to say to that. Number 1, it's too late. Number 2, Cam is only a piece, but not enough when you have somebody like Ben McAdoo calling the plays that he's been calling, and the lack of execution. And 3, being that, Matt Rule we've had for the first, 5 games? Like, there's no way Matt Rule would have signed off on that. And I don't even think David Tepper would have signed off on that. So, I mean, I get where you're coming from, Deacon Frost, but it's just Cam is not enough that can save this franchise. And it would be like him going back to an ex-girlfriend.
Again. For the second time.
Mr. Gemini said, how did they call roughing the quarterback on Ioannidis but not on PJ, though? Yeah, there were a lot of missed calls. I mean, the missed delay of game, the miss. Yo, how the heck did they not call that German suplex on Christian McCaffrey? Like, he literally German suplexed him and no flag.
Because when it rains, it pours. They said when it rains, it pours. That was even the ref that was watching said, I don't know how they missed that one. Clear penalty. That's a 15. That's a 15-yard penalty right there. That's unnecessary. But of course, we're in LA. They're allowed to do that to us, and we're the Panthers, and we kind of stink right now. They're the defending Super Bowl champs, so they're going to let them get away with that. But you missed that one, but call the one on Ionitis, which was like
Yeah.
really, what we're doing. But to that the previous point, it would be bad. I say that in a joking way because looking at what we've been looking at to the point, it's like watching the same horror movie every week over and over again.
Hmm.
This offense is like watching a horror movie that doesn't get better. It'll give you little spurts where you can get excited. It's like your parents telling you about to go get some ice cream, and every ice cream store you pass, you get excited, but then they keep driving, and your excitement starts to dwindle as close as you get to home. That's what the Panthers do. They promise us ice cream on the way home, but we never stop and pick up the ice cream. We just
Yep.
keep heading home. And like I said, it's just you realize, and I've noticed this because I've been through a season. Those of you that don't watch and that don't know, I did play the game for a while. I've been through a season where we won one game.
Hmm.
The true test of a player is not when you're winning; it's when you're losing.
Yeah. Hmm.
We can all be hunky dory. Like Jay and I can have a great show every week, and we can be all chippy and gory. But let's have a bad day and see how it goes. But fortunately for us and great for us, we have a team that makes us feel like I had two shots before I came down here. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I
Oh
had two shots
man.
before I came down here
And you know,
because
and you know what? My brother has actually been good to me so far this season, and he's an Eagles fan. So
oh they're killing it. I can't
yeah.
wait to watch them. They're killing it. And this my brothers, I have told you I had two brothers. One's a Cowboys fan because I know he's in heaven right now,
Hmm.
and the other's a Falcons fan, which they're good. But you know what killed me though, Jay? You know what killed me
What's up?
is one thing Panther fans that we can't hang our hat on, as sad as it is, the NFC South still sucks this year.
Yep.
So we're technically we still can win the division because we have only played how many division games so far,
Just one.
and we're 1-0.
Yeah. And
Which technically
Tampa Bay
speaking,
lost
as
today.
bad as we're playing,
Yeah. Tampa Bay lost and the Saints lost as well. So
we're still in the division.
yeah.
So I hear the portion. I hear what you're saying, and brother, I'm right there with you. And I know it's going to take more than just a quarterback, but we need at some point as an organization to understand that the defense can only do so much.
Hmm.
The defense again for the second, third week in a row scores a touchdown.
Yep.
So the defense again spotted our offense points because we was up was 10-7.
Yep.
You mean to tell me as an offense, and I please God for heaven's sake, do not blame the offensive line because again, our offensive line is one of the best ones we've had in a while. Our offensive line is really not that bad.
Right.
I didn't really hear Aaron Donald's name really at all today, except for when he batted down the pass.
Yeah. Hmm.
So give credit where credit is due. Our offensive line is actually playing decent football
Yep.
against defending Super Bowl champs. We just don't have a quarterback right now worth a damn. It is what it is.
Yeah. And Ben McAdoo ain't helping out either.
He's not. That's why I said I don't, bro. I don't understand. How many screens, bro, are you going to call? How many? How many screens can you call? And then the Rams start doing the same thing to us. They start calling screens. Why? Because our defense is actually shutting down the run.
And not
And we
and not
actually were
and not only that, the whole third quarter, we only had, what was it, 23 total yards on offense? The heck? How does that happen?
bruh. You know what was funny? Before that screen pass to Ian Thomas, we had we had 16 passing yards. 16 in that quarter. And we matched that with one screen pass. I don't I don't at this point, I don't know how Ben McAdoo makes it another week. I don't know how he makes it another week. At this point, Ben McAdoo, you I can't defend you anymore. I can defend your play call, and even though you did run the ball, we actually have weapons that you can throw the ball to. And for heaven's sake, why is Rashad Higgins not playing receiver at all? The man shows that he can play in this league. Put Hollywood on. You know, only time I seen Hollywood was when he was pushing Robbie Anderson out the way. That's the
Yeah,
only time I saw him. So besides that, it's just like it looked bad. It is bad, but we're not utilizing the weapons to the best of their ability. We're just not, and we look like a team that's disjointed. We look like a team that's ready to implode. And again, what we saw on the sideline was an implication of a team that is going through internal turmoil, and that's
yeah,
literally what it is. We're fighting amongst each other because a team that's put together, a team that's on the same page, a team that is winning, you're not really going to see that. And somebody compared Robbie Anderson to Steve Smith. Don't ever do that
oh Lord,
because
oh
one,
Lord.
Steve Smith didn't get in one of his coaches' faces and do that. Steve Smith played with passion. Steve Smith drug his team along. Steve Smith wasn't dropping passes left and right. So don't give me that. Don't give me that's passion. That's not passion, homie. That's showing out and trying to show up your coaches and your other brothers. The moment that you put yourself, and I dare somebody to show me a clip. I dare you to show me a clip where Steve Smith ever sat away from the rest of his team. I challenge you to show me that clip. You can hit me on Facebook. You can hit me on Instagram. Show me a clip where Steve Smith ever sat away from his team. Robbie Anderson is selfish. That's selfish as hell.
Hmm.
We're trying to go over something and you gonna sit your ass over there and not be part of the group. When we're still in the game.
Hmm.
We're still in the game with a fourth string quarterback. But you, my brother, are worried about your numbers. You, my brother, worried about being selfish. Nah, that's not passion, homie. That's not passion at all. Because again, we're still in the game. PJ Walker ain't playing the greatest, but he's not sucking it up.
And it's interesting that you mentioned that. I mean, because one of the things that's proof that it's never questioned with Steve Smith. You remember that Texans game that we were losing like double digits, or like by two or two and a half scoring possessions, and
I know
yet
where you're going with this.
and
I
yet
know where
he
you go.
caught a pass, and his yak was insane to the point where he got hit, what, four times, and
Mm-hmm.
knee never went down, snuck out of there, kept playing, and ended up scoring a touchdown. I think it was a 49 or 50-yard touchdown.
He was surrounded by four Texans, so I remember that because he just simply curled up, turned around. I remember took off for the touchdown. I remember that exact game. I know what you're talking about. That memory popped in my head. That's what I'm saying. There is a difference between passion and arrogance and selfishness. There's a huge difference. Smitty didn't get in nobody's face. Smitty didn't disrespect his coach. He didn't disrespect his teammates. He said, "All right, cool. We getting our ass kicked. All right, I get it."
I give you one better. The dude caught a touchdown and ran it in the end zone after taking a hit that broke his forearm.
I know what you talk. I know exactly what you're talking about. Arm dangling to the side. He's trying to dap everybody with his other hand, like, "Hey, don't touch his hand. Let me dap you with this one." And
Yeah.
went to the locker room. I remember the exact game you're talking about. There is a difference between a leader and a pretender. I don't know Robbie Anderson, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. That spirit right there that he just demonstrated didn't impose. Keep pounding. And what Steve Wilkes is doing is all Matt Rule's little Baylor boys, his Temple boys,
Hmm.
get with the program or get lost.
Oh,
And I
he
respect that.
he told him to get lost. All right.
Get out of here. And that's what I'm saying. Steve Wilkes has been dealt a raw deal. Raw deal. You have no legit quarterback. You have an offensive line that's cool. You have a running back that can do his thing. You have a legit number one. You have tight ends that if you throw them the damn ball, they actually prove that they can catch the ball.
Hmm.
Ben McAdoo, hint, hint, get your tight ends involved. You have a defense that has shown signs of being a top 10 defense. Our secondary is banged up.
Yep.
Got it. That's the only knock you have right now. I'm going to get your boy. I'm going to get him. You didn't do nothing terrible today, CJ Henderson.
This was his chance.
Why do we invest any draft capital in you? And to somebody, I remember they was talking about it, was joking. Mark Sanchez, they were joking on the show.
Oh yeah, he was on
And some
commentary.
CMC should just trade in his jersey for Rams jersey. The Rams will have nothing that we want right now, unless you trade this Matthew Stafford. I'll take Matthew Stafford and I'll take Aaron Donald.
Would be
Y'all have
nice.
nothing. I'll take Jalen Ramsey.
It would be a
Unless one of
significant
those,
upgrade, that's for sure.
unless one of those names is involved in the trade coming back to Charlotte, CMC is not going to the Rams. I'm sorry to inform you. I looked at Buffalo. What does Buffalo have that we would want? I mean, are you giving us Josh Allen? Are you giving us Stephon Diggs? I don't know any of their corners. What are you giving us? And I'm not trading Brian Burns. Derek Brown, welcome to the NFL, my brother. You are showing up and showing out.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
Welcome to the
is.
NFL, my brother. I am so Derek Brown. You are killing it up there. You and Ionitis look like Chris Jenkins, and it wasn't Rucker. Who was it? It was Chris Jenkins and
Princeton Buckner.
Buckner. That's what y'all look like, because y'all wrecking havoc up the middle. Ionitis is killing it. Him and Derek Brown are a nice duo. They've been better. I would compare them to Star and KK. That's
Yeah.
what they remind me of, Star and KK. Both bring something different to the table, and I like it. I like it. That's what I'm saying. We have pieces. So to those that say blow it up, don't blow it up.
Hmm.
We're a piece here and a piece there. That's what I'm saying. Give Steve Wilkes a chance with a healthy roster
Hmm.
and a legit quarterback. He got screwed in Arizona. Call a spade a spade. Y'all gave that man Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Josh Rosen ain't even in the league anymore. And then the next year, they went and get Kyler Murray.
Right.
Give Steve Wilkes Kyler Murray. Okay, you bring him here. You give Steve Wilkes in his first game coaching the fourth string quarterback. You give him His number one corner's down. His number two corner goes out. One of his starting safeties is out.
Yeah.
What do you want this man to do? And then after that, the fifth string quarterback comes in.
Okay, here's the thing. Deacon Frost is hitting on more Cam Newton talk. Here's the thing, Deacon Frost.
Mm.
Number one, why should Cam Newton even come to Carolina? Like, you have to also look at what he would be coming into. He's coming into a 1-5 situation. A 1-5 situation now. Like, that's not guaranteed success.
Nope.
That's a ginormous disadvantage. Like, you gotta understand. I feel you. Don't get me wrong. I love Cam. Mr. Carolina loves Cam. I I think the Keep Pounding Nation loves Cam Newton, or for the most part, at least I would think. But
Yes, sir.
getting Cam Newton here currently, it's not impossible, but it's not realistic.
No.
It's not realistic.
It would
Like,
be lovely. It would be lovely, but not realistic. Because why would, matter of fact, why would you want Cam? And as much, I would love, love, love Cam to be back here.
mhm,
As you remember, Jay, I advocated give that man a proper off season.
right.
Well, what we're doing, Matt Rule, you might still have a job. Why? Because you don't have an alpha dog in your quarterback room. There's
Yeah,
no alpha
exactly.
dog.
Exactly.
There's a Baker Mayfield, as much as he wants to rah rah and all this other stuff, he's not an alpha dog in that room. Sam Darnold is not an alpha dog. PJ Walker is definitely not an alpha dog. Matt Corral has had injury. He's showing he has a history of injury. You're not a franchise quarterback. There's a reason you lasted to the third round. And please don't throw the Tom Brady, Russell Wilson shit out there. He's not neither one of those quarterbacks. So let's not do that.
Hmm.
Not do that. I have hopes for the kid. Not like that. But this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you don't set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
We did not set ourselves up properly. And Matt Rule, instead of concentrating on building up or starting with a friend, we kept swinging for the fences instead of trying to hit a nice single. You try to swing for the fences with Teddy Bridgewater. Didn't work. You said, okay, we're gonna bring in Sam Darnold. Didn't work.
Hmm.
Then you said, okay, we're gonna bring back Cam, but we're not gonna give him a proper time to get adequate to the offense. Then you ship out the then offensive coordinator, bringing somebody whose play calling doesn't get any better. You ship Cam back out. Cam doesn't get to come back. You bring in another offensive coordinator.
Hmm.
Then you bring in Baker Mayfield. So now I want everybody to tally this up. We spent major draft capital on quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. And they showed the statistics. You're watching the game. We spent over $72 million at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
If you're spending $72 million on Petty, Cam, Sam, PJ, Baker, none of them pan out.
That means it's time to invest in a brand new, reasonable franchise quarterback. And like Mr. Carolina said, he named Cam on that list. And you have to also factor in not only him coming into a 1-5 situation, but a 1-5 situation with Ben McAdoo. Like, there's still no guarantee that Ben McAdoo gets fired instantly. I mean, anything can happen. And who I don't even know who would even get promoted to interim offensive coordinator, to be honest with you. So I don't even know if we can realistically afford to cut Ben McAdoo. right now. So, I mean, it's too big of a disadvantage. It's not impossible, but it's too big of a disadvantage. Like coming in, it's about to be week 7. Bring him in week 7. It's not that much different from bringing him in week 10 last year. So, I just feel like we got to really let the Cam coming back. We got to let that go. I mean, we have a lot of memories. Of course, those memories will never leave us, but
Hmm.
I would find it hard to believe that Cam would consider coming back with how he has been treated and how he has been handled. I think we need a fresh, brand new quarterback.
At this point, and I'm glad you make fantastic and great points. And to that, and I'm gonna add to that. At this point, if you're Cam Newton, why would you want to come back and do this again? Why would you? You said yourself you want to come back to a winning organization.
Right.
1-5 ain't winning.
Show ain't.
It's not. And then if I'm Cam, if I'm quarter and I'm looking, I'm like, okay, my offensive line is good. I have a great run. I have actually two or three. I have one great running back, and I have two nice running backs behind you. I have a number one receiver. I have Robbie Anderson, get out of here. I have a nice one in Terrace Marshall because just give him a chance. The man can catch. Kyle Smith is decent for a slot receiver. He has a drop sometimes as well. You still have Rashad Higgins who doesn't get a play. Laviska Shenault has shown he can be a bulldozer in the slot as well. Of
Mhm.
course, he has his hamstrings. But if I'm looking on the defensive side, again, the offensive line has improved.
Mhm.
One of the best
Absolutely.
offensive lines we've had since we went to the Super Bowl. So if I'm Cam, I'm looking at those. Okay, cool. But if I'm looking at the defense, yes, that front four is vicious. But now I'm still missing. We don't know if J.C. Horn's gonna be back next week.
Right.
Dante Jackson for forever. He's some with his ankles. There's always something going on with that man's ankles. Jeremy Chin is not coming back for another week or two.
Right.
Okay. But if I'm looking at if I'm Cam Newton, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I see. Do the positives outweigh the negatives?
Mhm.
And oh, I haven't had a I haven't had a mini camp. I haven't had a training camp. So now I gotta learn another offense on the fly.
Yeah.
And then we have what, the Buccaneers coming up next week,
Next week, Buccaneers.
which is a winnable game. I said it. It's a winnable game because don't we're not gonna sit and be like Tampa Bay, just this juggernaut like they was when they won the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, as great as he is getting old. That offensive line, that offense is not as good as they used to be.
Mhm.
Tampa Bay is beatable.
And they just lost to the Steelers.
Who got waxed last week?
Yep.
Well, so did we. We got waxed today. But if I'm looking at it, and I don't know who Eason is, um, we just when did Sam Darnold come back?
Mm. Good question. Oh man.
Is it sad that I'm asking that question? Is that sad?
A little.
I
A
can
little. uh maybe maybe week 8 ish. Um Mr. Gemini asked, what quarterback should we take? I kind of like Caleb Williams. Uh, I'm gonna let you go first on that.
um I wouldn't mind Caleb Williams. Um and I'm not gonna let the loss that Alabama just took to Tennessee discourage me away from Bryce Young.
Okay.
Um even though I know he's on the shorter side, as a lot of these NFL quarterbacks are letting you know height really does not matter.
Hmm.
Um It would be between those two. Um, we don't need at this point. We need a quarterback that can get out of the pocket and still has a rocket for an arm.
Hmm.
Um, but to another point, we need an alpha dog in the huddle. It's like I can't emphasize that anymore. If you don't have an alpha dog in your quarterback room, if
Hmm.
when you pull into that huddle, and as a former said the former running back, former corner receiver, if when a play comes in and my quarterback is calling, and I used to be a quarterback too. So if I need to see in your eyes that you believe in this play, I need to know without a shadow of a doubt that we're going to execute. That if some breakdown, big dog got us.
Yep.
I ain't worried about it. I'm not worried about it. And again, we had that in the 10 years with number one. Because when Cam Newton stepped in that hole, and I'm keep beating this horse,
It's all right.
when Cam Newton stepped in that huddle, we knew something's gonna happen. Hell, when Jake Delhomme stepped in that huddle, them boys in that huddle knew Jake gonna do something. We don't. Jake Delhomme is gonna deliver, and he did.
Oh yeah.
He did. So we had two good quarterbacks, Delhomme and Cam. Kerry Collins, I can't count you because I don't know what you were doing. Rodney Pete, I don't know what you were doing either. And
Uh,
anyway, Jimmy Clausen. Anyway, uh, Chris Winky, you at the tail end. Vinny Testaverde.
oh
Jesus Christ,
Lord.
you child Panther fan. Vinny Testaverde. Uh, I don't know why they did that to you either. And what's our boy we got from? Matter of fact, they came over from Cleveland previously. Um, he was Cam's backup,
Derek Anderson.
Derek Anderson.
Pretty much our
Who
best backup ever.
ever. So that's what I'm saying. We we've had two decent quarterbacks in our history, and I said we got spoiled by Cam.
Yes.
So we need at this point the offensive line is fixed. The defensive line is growing and getting better and better. I still say we need an alpha dog middle linebacker because Mr. Wilson ain't it.
Hmm.
And again, spoiled Kuechly, you dog, you. Luke Kuechly spoiled us for years. Thomas Davis spoiled us for years because we're used to good linebackers.
Oh yeah.
We just
Oh, Mr. Gemini mentioned, what about Steve Berline?
ooh,
Mm, well,
he wasn't bad.
I would say he
Steve
was better than
Berline,
Kerry Collins,
oh yeah, hell yeah.
but I mean, Steve Berline's been around. I mean, between Carolina, the Cardinals. I mean, he's been around. So
He was a journeyman.
yeah,
He was a
he was
journeyman.
definitely a journeyman. And but I mean, hey, Jake Delhomme, I mean, was a third string quarterback with the Saints, came over to Carolina, replaced Rodney Pete in the second half, brought us to a win, and
To the Super Bowl.
took it to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so to that point, I'm gonna pose a question to you, and well, go ahead and answer the question if, as far as the quarterback goes. Then when you do that, I got a question for you.
Okay.
If you could trade for a quarterback right now, and I'm putting it to the callers as well. If you could trade for a quarterback, let's be realistic. This ain't mad.
Hmm.
If you can bring in a quarterback right now, who and why?
That is a really good question. So chat, this is for y'all as well.
Mhm. If you could bring in a quarterback, who and why? And what do they help now?
The only one that I can think of off the top of my head that would be reasonable and would definitely make an impact, being like what a situation is looking like, I would have to say, honestly, perhaps Lamar Jackson.
What do you give up to get Lamar Jackson?
That is the tough part. I
Because I can tell
mean,
you right now, and not to cut you off, it's
mhm,
going to take CMC.
yep,
It's going to take multiple firsts.
right,
It may even take a Brian Burns, or we're not get. We already said we're not giving a Brian Burns no Derek Brown.
right.
So you're going to have to give up something to get him over here, and it's going to start with number 22.
Yeah, at this point, that has to be a must. And with the trade deadline in 2 weeks, because we're about to go into week 7, it
Mm-hmm.
him getting traded is still very much a possibility.
I
Um,
think it's going to happen.
yeah, you know what? Now that you mention it, I think it upgraded from a possibility to a very likely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Christian McCaffrey, is going to take some draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I would hate to say this, but uh, Jeremy Chin.
Ooh. Uh,
I
don't
mean,
do it.
so no Brian Burns, no Jeremy Chin.
They've already said they have gone on record. Brian Burns is off the table. Derek Brown is off the table. They said their young defensive core is off the table.
Okay, so then by that meaning Jeremy Chin wouldn't count then.
They've gone on record. Carolina's gone on record and saying they're taking calls for CMC and Robbie Anderson.
Well, shoot, give him CJ. Shoot, give him CJ. Why not? He's still young.
I would
Somebody will turn him around.
give him CJ, give him Keith Taylor, give him CMC, give him a couple firsts. We'll give y'all Baker too. Take him. He can be the bridge quarterback for the next one.
Joe Valesco says give up Robbie Anderson and attempt to go after Jared Goff.
I would take Jared because Jared Goff is actually playing good this year. Jared Goff is actually playing good this year. I wouldn't be mad at Jared Goff.
Wouldn't be mad at Jared Goff.
I wouldn't be mad at Jared Goff at all. Not at all.
Mr. Gemini says, what about Dante Jackson? Adding him, trade Dante Jackson.
Yeah, trade Dante. I'm okay with that. You can't stay healthy anyway. Why are you here? I
He
like you. I like his swag. He's from Louisiana too. I like his swag.
he is our interception leader.
He is, but he also got mossed today from a guy that hadn't caught a touchdown pass all season
True. That much is true.
because he wanted to jam when there was no reason to jam in that down and distance called no, football IQ. You're
Yeah.
going to try to jam bigger receiver, and all they did was back shoulder you, and he high pointed the ball because he knew you were shorter, and all he had to do was jump over top of you. So
And
instead of playing with technique, you do something else.
and the deep ball is his weakness, unfortunately.
For somebody that runs a 4-3, that's crazy.
Yeah.
4-2, 4-3, whatever it is. He runs 4-2, 4-3. Speed is your friend. So how you getting beat deep? Hell, it ain't CJ Henderson's friend either.
Yeah. Whew, man. Okay. What was there and chat, keep them coming, chat. Was there a particular quarterback you had in mind?
Oh, I mean, y'all took mine. Shoo. My son and I was joking about it. I said, give me Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
You give me Lamar Jackson, and I'll tell you the perfect trade. I'll give you Christian McCaffrey. As much as I love Christian, we've noticed that you can this team had, and I only say that because this team is becoming too dependent on one player.
Yeah.
Take that one player away. Find something else to do. Lamar Jackson still has not signed that extension with the Ravens.
He sure hasn't.
It don't look like he's trying to. He's not in a rush to sign that extension. I'll give you CMC. I'll give you a couple first. I'll throw in Robbie Anderson. I'll throw in Baker Mayfield as a bridge quarterback. But
Oh,
anybody on my is off limits.
oh, and I got to say this for all the bashing Lamar Jackson haters. Okay, running quarterback, running quarterback. Let me ask y'all something. If he's a supposed running quarterback, then why the heck did his 2019 MVP year he also was the passing touchdowns leader?
Don't worry, we'll wait.
He was the MVP
Mm-hmm.
and was the touchdown NFL passing touchdowns leader.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm pretty sure he's not just a running quarterback.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And you know what I say that? I'm gonna tell y'all might not, I might hurt your feelings. I ain't talking about everybody else because he's a black quarterback. Y'all can agree or disagree. Let's call a spade a spade. He's a black quarterback that can run, so now he's a running quarterback. But when white quarterbacks do that, we don't question that. We don't call him a running quarterback. We just say, oh, he's agile for his position. Black quarterbacks do that, or he's a scrambler. Cam Newton had a rocket for an arm, but we considered him a scrambling quarterback. Randall Cunningham had a cannon for an arm, scrambling quarterback. Mike Vick could flick the ball 80 yards down the field, scrambling quarterback. This is a discussion that we're going to the end of time. Black quarterback versus white quarterback. When black quarterbacks were considered scramblers. White quarterbacks were considered athletic.
I
You
mean,
can't have it both ways.
Facts. You
You
know,
can't.
and
You
and
gotta,
and not to mention, folks forget Lamar Jackson's only 25 years old. He's only 25 years old.
so that's why you give up. You call Baltimore, Scott Fitterer, if you want to save your job even more, because they're calling for you next, because you helped assemble this roster as well. You helped trade away our draft capital. You pick up the phone. You call Baltimore. You call Detroit. Hey, what's it going to take? You don't call Buffalo because unless Buffalo send back Josh Allen or Stephon Diggs or both, don't trade him to Buffalo to help out the Panthers of the North. Don't do that. Call Detroit. Hey, what do y'all want? Hey, Baltimore, what do y'all want? It's too late to call San Francisco because we ain't getting Jimmy G.
Exactly. Um, Kevin McFarland joins the stream. Hello. All I can say is what a performance. Really 2015 like very sad and terrible outing from everyone else on this team to be honest. Our team just does not play well together and our play calling is worse than my playing outside.
Well,
Facts. Um
bro,
Joe Valesco says, what would you give up for maybe perhaps Geno Smith? He would give up CJ Henderson. Honestly, Geno Smith, no.
I like Geno. Geno's
He
Geno
is playing well. He is
Geno's
playing
playing
well,
well. He's playing well.
but no.
Um, that would have to be like a plan D.
That would have to be
If
like
all else fails.
a pure last resort.
That's a plan D. That's literally like a substance plan B. It's like if the other one said no, I'm not doing it. But I mean, it kind of alludes to that point of when you as a GM and as a coach are evaluating these prospects, you're evaluating these quarterbacks. We
Mm-hmm.
whiffed. We literally whiffed. We went with Baker instead of Jimmy G. Why? And I'm a fault. I wanted Baker over Jimmy G.
Right.
I did. You can look around the tapes. I did because I saw what he was in Cleveland, and I was like, okay, he can come here. He can do woo, 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 woo. But I did not realize how accurate he is.
Mm.
We give Cam Newton hell for years, and Cam Newton didn't have damn near the weapons that Baker Mayfield had in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
But Baker Mayfield again is I think it's now the worst quarterback in the NFL right now. The worst.
Yeah.
You can't blame the line. You can't blame the running backs. You can't blame the receivers. It's the quarterback that is killing us from scoring because he's inaccurate. It's a play calling.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Ben McAdoo. I don't know what kind of cheeseburger menu you have in that booth, but the team has more than just one player on offense that can make plays.
Facts.
There's this guy that wears the number two jersey that can make plays. That number three guy, you can let him go ahead and kick rocks. There's a guy that wears the number 88, the number 12, the number 17, 33, 82, 80. Um, how about we give them the ball so the team can't just square off for one person? Because again, I said this previously, Jay, and you remember, we're doing the CMC what we did to Cam Newton. You want to run that man into the ground, shorten his career because you don't know how to get your other playmakers the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what LA did? They got everybody else outside of Cooper Cup involved as well.
Yep.
I'm
Now,
just saying.
I mean, it's all there. It's all there. I mean, you look at. I mean, Allen Robinson struggled. Played this game, 5 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
I'm just saying.
And then, how in the world you gonna get beat on a jet sweep to Cooper Cup, and then turn around 2 plays later and they run the exact same jet sweep for the
To the tight
touchdown?
end.
Like, what?
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this up.
Oh my god.
You can't make this up.
Like,
Oh god, bro, it's just it makes you want to scratch your eyeballs out. Like I really did. I just kept looking, and it's funny. I said my wife looked at me and she said, "Oh, you're not yelling." I said, "Oh, your team is winning." I was like, "Mm-hmm." For now, and then we went up. I went outside because I let my dog out. Came back inside and I saw Dante Jackson score. I said, "Oh, we might we're hanging with the defending Super Bowl champs.
yeah.
It's 10-7. We're winning." Within a blink of an eye.
I don't think I've ever seen that many screen passes in a game before.
Um,
That's just that can't be normal.
I think it is not, and I honestly think the Rams are doing it to mock us.
Oh man.
I
Yeah.
think they start screaming. They're like, "Oh, y'all gonna scream? We gonna scream. We gonna see whose screen game is better." And, oh, well, I'm gonna scream you. We're gonna jet sweep you. Hey, Ben McAdoo. In case you didn't realize, NFL is a monkey see, monkey do type league. If
Oh
you see
man.
them doing it and it worked, did we run any kind of jet sweep today? But you look, you showed them, you screened the hell out of them.
Yeah. And Kevin McFarland, he says the problem with our team is the great routes and tight end type throws really ended after 2017. Remember all of our 30 and 40-point games? Where have those gone? I got a I got a little uh, flashbacks when they showed the Rams lose in double overtime. Steve Smith got the 67-yard touchdown pass in double overtime. Brings back memories. And you know what's interesting about that and everything leading up to that?
Mhm.
Remember, Jake Delhomme came over from the Saints, was a third string quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
came in after second half after Rodney Peete stunk it up in that Jaguars game.
Whew, did he?
But you know what Jake Delhomme did? His first touch wasn't even a starter. But you know what he did? He threw the ball downfield. Steve Smith, Moose, Ricky Prohl. Ricky Prohl had the game-winning touchdown.
In the left corner of the end zone.
He threw the ball downfield.
And it's sad though, Jay, to your point, but even now to say, well, at some point, Carolina has to throw the ball down the field to keep the defense honest. Do you realize how close up Jalen Ramsey and the other corners were playing to the line because they knew we weren't
Yeah.
throwing the ball down the field? At some point, as a corner, I get bored. You're not throwing the ball down the field. Y'all going to screen us to death and hope that works. As an offensive coordinator, Ben McAdoo do this show me you have zero faith in PJ Walker as a pass.
no,
You have zero confidence.
no
If
confidence at
you
all.
if all you're throwing is screens and short passes, that means I don't believe in my quarterback. And for those, oh, this is Steve Wilkes' game plan, was it?
If that was his game plan, then nah.
I failed to believe that Steve Wilkes said let's just screen pass them all game. Now, yes, the head coach has the last call, but he's still an interim coach in his first game, and with about a week, only a couple days of preparation for the defending Super Bowl champions. Let's give the man a little slack here.
Yeah, indeed.
You had a few days prepared to. It's not like we played the Steelers or who else is stinking it up right now, the Broncos or something. We didn't play them. It's not like we played the Commanders. We played the defending Super Bowl champions with an interim head coach off of a few days of practice.
Kevin asks, interesting question. What changed in the coaching from 2017 to now? What is wrong with the passing game?
Quarterback.
Well, quarterback is definitely a big thing. Um,
Uh, Philosophy.
yeah,
We didn't run. I don't think we ran really much play action today, and that's what a lot of our quarterbacks. If you notice our offense, a lot of our quarterbacks thrived off the play action.
yeah,
We didn't do much play action because the past few years, last few games, we haven't ran the ball as much. So you're not keeping the defense honest.
yeah,
A defense is only honest if you can run the ball. We haven't been running the ball. So guess what? As a corner, I'm not going to respect your receivers because even if you do play action, I really know I don't have to come up, so I'm just going to play my man because you haven't
yeah.
made me honest with the run game.
And at the same time, let's keep it real. That 2018 season, the main thing that stood out the most is Cam had no business playing after that Steelers game.
Zero, zero. No, you should have been gone. But because of who he is as a quarterback, because of who Cam Newton is, he was like, I'm going to play. Because Cam knew when he was on the field, we had the best chance of winning, flat out. We had nobody behind him that we was like, yeah, if you put him in ahead of Cam, we're gonna win. No.
And Kevin says even Kyle Allen was better. I thought that was our future in those 4 games. Kyle Allen showed a little something something. He
He
did.
did. He did.
But another one that wasn't afraid to throw the ball downfield.
Yet he had a California noodle arm. You gotta call it what it is. As much as we like Kyle Allen, I even like Taylor Heineke for a hot second. Um,
Yeah.
if in this league, if you can't push the ball down the field, you're one dimensional, which again does not help your cause in the least bit. So we look one dimensional. We showed one dimensional. We showed today with what a bad game plan looks like going against the defending Super Bowl champs. But again, I tried to cut this team some slack. I didn't come into this game with much high hopes because I knew we were coming off a week, but we just fired our head coach. We fired our defensive coordinator. We fired our assistant special teams. I don't even think that matters.
Mhm.
But you have turmoil. You have our organization is a boiling pot at this point,
Mhm.
and it's ready to stew over. You have
Facts.
players that were loyal and faithful to Matt Rule for whatever reason, because college ties, mainly college ties,
Mhm.
that were loyal. You saw your coach that brought you in here, PJ Walker. You're one of them. I'm looking at you. Robbie Anderson, you're another one. I'm looking at you as well. You got that extension because of Matt Rule, not because you're playing on the field. Let's call a spade a spade. All right, not going to hold my tongue on that one. That's
Mhm.
why you got that extension because of Matt Rule. Oh well, but those guys were loyal to him. And now you fired the coach that brought me here, that gave me a shot to play, that still believed in me from my college days, even though there was a reason I got drafted where I got drafted, or I wasn't signed when I was supposed to get signed. There was a reason.
Mhm.
Now he's gone. So now I have this interim head coach. I don't really have a good rapport with him, Robbie Anderson. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a headache because you've already put me out there that I'm going to be traded. So why would I give you guys any type of niceties
Mhm.
when you're throwing my name out there that you're fielding calls to trade me? You fired my coach. Now you're trying to trade me. The same coach that gave me an extension that I didn't deserve. So let me give you a reason to really trade me. Because remember, in the offseason, we were thinking about trading him to the Patriots.
Mhm. Mhm.
We didn't do that. I don't know why. I would have traded him. Took their first round pick, second round pick. I don't give a damn. One of the two.
Mhm.
But to this point, and I know it's beating a dead horse.
Mhm.
There's a quarterback. Mm, still can happen, but I doubt it. I doubt it will. There's a quarterback out in Tennessee that I still would love us to trade. He can still. I don't know if we can trade for him.
Are you talking about Malik Willis?
I am talking about Malik Willis. There's a quarterback sitting on the bench,
Yeah.
not doing. I'm just saying. Saying
Yeah.
possibility.
It's definitely a possibility, and thinking about this because we're also going to look at what we have as far as draft picks. Um, I do know one thing. Uh, Keeping a radar on Lamar Jackson is very important because if he has no intention, plus they're not going to give him any sort of extension, and he has no intent on signing an extension, y'all might want to start divvying up an offer. Like if you got to be on the phone every week, every day, if you got
Every
to
hour.
every hour, if you got to start naming offers, for like an hour, call back late, an hour or two later with another offer or whatnot, y'all might want to consider doing so.
At this point, I am calling Baltimore, and I'm just saying, give me a name. Just give me a name. You give me a name, I'll tell you yes or no. And I can guarantee you the first thing Baltimore is going to give you is Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
All deals start with CMC. And at this point, okay, we're going to start there,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to see what we can do. Because if it takes me to give you a running back for a franchise quarterback, I think I'm going to give my running back for a franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love Christian, cool. Quarterbacks are way more important than running backs. Let's not kid ourselves. It's still a quarterback-driven league.
Right.
Running backs are cool. Running backs ain't winning you games like quarterback, like a great quarterback can. Which we're gonna watch tonight. Wait, did the Bills and Chiefs already play, or they play tonight? They play tonight.
Uh, let's see. I know that let me see, the Bills and Chiefs. Oh, Bills won. They played already.
Bills won.
Yeah,
Okay.
24-20. It's Cowboys and Eagles tonight.
And you know both of those teams have
Good quarterback play. Cause
even the Cowboys with a backup quarterback.
yeah,
Because you know what they do, as I talked about last week and the week before that and the week before that. Winning teams play complementary football.
yep.
But if I'm the
So
offense,
so looking at what we have for
mm-hmm,
2023 draft picks. So we have a first round, we have a second round, we
mm-hmm,
don't have a third round. New England owns it.
mm-hmm,
We have a fourth round, we
mm-hmm,
have a fifth round, we don't have a sixth round. New England owns it. And we have a
mm-hmm.
seventh round. So New England owns our third and sixth round picks.
Okay.
Now, of course, if this ship continues to sink and we end up having the worst record, it's going to attract some teams.
I mean, I'm intrigued now. I'm like, hey, I'll give you such and such for that number one or number two or number three overall pick. Because the way we're headed right now, we're headed for a top three pick. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
it's looking that way. It's definitely looking that way.
But we have to look in this draft as well. Like, is there a game changing quarterback in this draft? Is there a quarterback that's going to come in and hit the ground running? It's cool to draft a quarterback. It's cute. But who can come in here day one, take the reins, and say, I'm the alpha dog. We're going to ride together. We're going to die together. We're going to go through our growing pains. But at the end of the day, I got you. Because again, I'm going to beat this dead horse. When number one walked through that door, you knew he was that alpha dog.
400
You knew.
passing 400 passing yards his first NFL game.
Cam Newton said, I am here. Let's get busy. And we did. I'm just saying, you got to have a quarterback that's going to come in here and he's got to be able to establish himself. He has to. It's point blank period.
Yeah. Um let's see. Super Trebo says, "Sup y'all, how's it going? Looks like Panthers are going to get swept by the Falcons again. One day the Panthers will be good again and it will feel good one day." Yeah, and they just who did they destroy? They destroyed somebody. Oh yeah, San Fran. Who destroyed us last week? Oh
Now,
man.
which is hilarious. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like this stuff is just you look at it And you see our team. We play decent football for like a half, and then it's like we go to sleep after halftime. We come back out. We can't score. We look disjointed. The defense is tired because they're always on the field. We can't get off the field on third down. We
Hmm.
can't convert on third down. And I'm sorry, if I see one more third and long get converted, yo, I'm gonna throw
Oh,
something
oh
at my
Lord.
TV.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Like,
How
and it was a screen.
screen pass, dude. It's third and 15. Excuse me, y'all can't come up and make a tackle on third and 15. Not once, twice, maybe even three times. It's third and long. Get off the field.
And
But again, this is what happens when you play.
I have to mention it. As much as I hate to say it, I have to mention it. This Rams team leads the league. Ranked is ranked 32 in sacks allowed, and we only came away with one sack.
And you know why? I can tell you one of the reasons why. Because it's not that we weren't getting good pressure. Because, like I said, Derek Brown and us were doing their thing.
Yeah, we definitely saw pressure today.
The Rams said, okay, we're just going to screen you. Or, okay, we're going to put our quarterback in the shotgun. We're going to throw quick hitters. They didn't launch the ball down the field like talking about, but they ran efficient plays that got their playmakers the ball in space.
Yep.
We didn't do that as an offense. We didn't call plays that got our play. We didn't call plays that got DJ Moore in space, to get him open. We didn't call plays that got even call. We didn't get plays to get Robbie Anderson the ball in space, Harris Marshall the ball in space, Shot Smith the ball in space. We kept throwing the ball to 22.
Yep.
That was our game plan. Get the ball to 22 and let him do everything. And as great as Christian McCaffrey is, he is not the entire offense.
Exactly. You know what's sad about this whole situation?
Hmm.
There was a time, the Cam Newton era, we had mainly post Steve Smith.
Mm-hmm.
We mainly had no names for weapons, with the exception of Greg Olson, Mr. Reliable, of course. And yet, let's see, Ted Ginn Jr., known to be a return specialist, became
And
relevant
bad
in the
hands.
even with bad hands, became relevant in the receiving core of the Carolina Panthers. Uh, as soon as we saw Philly Brown, another no name, let's keep it real, another no name. As soon as we saw Philly Brown on a deep route, catch and score, it's like, oh, okay, we just discovered a deep threat. And you best believe
Punchy.
that wasn't the only time he scored on a deep threat.
No,
Um,
Funky. Funchy.
fun, you know. Ed Dixon. Oh,
Known as,
Greg Olson wasn't alone.
known as a blocking tight end, but guess what? Ed Dixon had some hands.
And
He,
now we have an offense with legit weapons that we don't even know how to freaking use.
because this is what happens. And I said I remember I beat the drum for Ben McAdoo. I was like, oh, okay, well he had a decent offensive giant. No, this is what happens when you don't bring in a coordinator that knows how to utilize weapons that are on this offense. We brought in a coordinator that has no idea how to get your playmakers the ball in space, flat out. He doesn't know how to do it. And this is showing one thing again. Joe Brady wasn't the full problem with the offense last year. He wasn't.
I think that's the truth that has definitely come more apparent now, like when you really look back at it.
It wasn't Joe Brady's fault.
I mean,
Matt Rule,
he was a
he,
scapegoat.
look, and Matt Rule, if all these articles are true, tried to implement some. It was called a OOU, a philosophy that apparently didn't go over well in the locker room or in the organization. And if
Mm,
y'all don't know who OOU is, it's called One of Us. And he had a rule that they only drafted players that fit under this microcosm of OOU.
mm,
So apparently, again, all these articles are coming out because that's usually what happens after you get fired because you don't want to upset the man in charge of the team. A lot of people in that building didn't buy into Matt Rule's OOU philosophy.
yeah.
They didn't buy it. We didn't buy it. His record showed that OOU didn't work.
Whew.
Again, you're not one of us. I don't want to be one of you. Um, what you do in college, and Jay and I, we've had this conversation before, bro.
Hmm.
What you do in college doesn't always translate to the NFL.
Right.
It doesn't. Matt Rule was, and I gave him all the praise. He was a great college coach. He wasn't. When you're
Yeah.
playing in smaller name schools, you're supposed to dominate smaller name schools. When you go against the big dogs, Matt Rule had a losing record.
Right.
So he wasn't a great college coach. He beat up on teams he was supposed to beat up on.
Yeah. That much is true.
But when you got to the NFL, couldn't do that because everybody is just as talented as you are, and you can't go out and recruit the kids from the best high schools in the country and have them come to your team. In the NFL, you have a cap.
Hmm.
Not
Yep.
really. You can't just do that here. And he got caught up in his OOU philosophy.
Yeah. He was
It didn't
definitely
work. And now you
and
set this organization back.
yeah, he was in over his head like crazy. Interesting comment. Mr. Gemini said, "I really wished Kelvin Benjamin would have worked out." Here's my thing.
Facts.
Here's my thing with Kelvin Benjamin, which he did get 1,000 yards his rookie season.
He did.
My thing with Kelvin Benjamin, one was the weight issue.
Yeah, he was already big.
Secondly, I don't know what happened after that. He came back after the Super Bowl year because we lost him for the season, and I don't know what happened after that, but just it was like he was cheesing on routes or whatnot, but something happened. I don't know what it was. I can't put my finger on it, but something happened it just went downhill for him ever since. So, I mean, your thoughts on Kelvin Benjamin?
He went back home, started getting around some of his homeboys. He went back to Florida,
Hmm.
got around some of his homeboys and lost focus.
Mm.
He let that first contract get to his head. And
That's
that's
right.
what it is from these kids.
That's right, because he went to Florida State, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, sure did.
Florida boy
Yep.
went back home. Some of your homeboys that you kicked it with start chirping in your ear. Oh, bro, you good, Dish? You got this. You got your contract. Whoop, whoop, you good. Not realizing, y'all, the work don't stop when you get there.
Right.
That's when it starts. NFL stands for not for long for a reason. Because if you ain't here to work, you won't be here very long.
And you will be exposed for it.
And he got exposed. And then he tried to throw your quarterback under the bus for your bad work ethic. That ain't gonna work because Cam Newton was about the same height, same size, but was in better shape. So, what was your excuse? Oh, that's why you didn't have one. Because you went home, you start believing the articles, you start believing you didn't have to work. This ain't high school. This wasn't Florida State anymore. You going against Romans that are getting paid to feed their families off of this game.
Yep.
And he didn't take it seriously. So that's why Kelvin Benjamin is no longer in the league.
Went
And
downhill.
he looks like a defensive end instead of a wide receiver.
Super Treybo says, "Do y'all think the Panthers are officially the worst team in the NFL? And is it most likely we will be drafting Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud in the draft, like, or another quarterback? Where does Carolina go from here?" I'll let you go first.
The worst team in the NFL, no. No and yes. Um, Defensively, I feel like we actually are a great. Actually, I'm gonna say that I think we're a great defensive team.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna back my on that one because I actually like our defense when they're not on the field for damn near the entire game.
Hmm.
Offensively, I love our offensive line besides Pat Eflin. The rest of the offensive line shows great promise. I love our young receivers if we can get them the damn ball.
Hmm.
Um, I love um, I love our running backs, even though we don't use them all like we should. Um, we are just we were a competent coach away. Like if Steve Wilkes would have had this from the get go, I don't feel like we would have been in this position.
Yeah.
I don't. As far as the quarterbacks go, um, I'm okay with either one. But please, as I said, just make sure that y'all be careful what you wish for. Make sure that the quarterback that you're wishing to come to this team understand that he's coming to a team that doesn't um, need a manager. We need an alpha dog in the huddle. You have to come in here and be an alpha dog. You have to be the first one in, last one out type of alpha dog. Like, again, number one was, number 17 was. These guys led by example.
Yep. And to that point, are we the worst team? Officially, yes, but on paper, should have no business being the worst team in the NFL. Period. We are, but on paper, we have no business being the worst team in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Quarterback, I don't have a preference. I want a confident, professional,
Mm-hmm.
rookie or not. I want somebody who's going to be confident, who is
Yeah.
going to step up to the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, bro,
Mm-hmm.
Jake Delhomme
Mm-hmm.
brought that passion, that fire, especially being inserted
Mm-hmm.
into the fray. Second half,
Agent
made
Assassin.
made plays, and there were adjustments as well to the
Mm-hmm.
point where it got the fan base, himself and his teammates. You know what? We just gave birth to a franchise quarterback in the first game of the season, starting the second half.
He didn't look back. He didn't look back.
Cam Newton, not only did he get drafted and came in with a 400-yard passing game, first career NFL game,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about someone that, okay, maybe attitude wise, was he out of line? It's debatable.
He
But
had his moment.
but when they were getting ready to punt on a fourth down, he screamed out No, 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 at towards the sideline. Now,
The head
gra-
coach.
now, granted, yes, granted, Riverboat Ron had to be like, settle down, I got you,
Mhm.
but he got Cam Newton, he got it. He's like, you know what? You're pitching that much of a fit. You know what? Do it. And what did he do? He kept his word.
That's one thing about number one.
Plays and stuff like that, never giving up. We're also talking about the same said quarterback that on a third and 17 was getting ready to be sacked,
Mm-hmm.
and he converted it on his own. Did not give up.
Willed his way. Willed his way for first down.
Uh, oh, and not only that. Oh yeah, and we won that game too.
Cam Newton is he was one of those generational talents that some people fail to give credit where credit is due. When you have a franchise quarterback, you hold on to him. And again, the thing that Matt Rule messed up is he came in here and he tried to do the OOU way.
Right.
Cam Newton did not fit into that because Cam Newton would have been a bigger person. I told you this before. Cam Newton was a bigger personality in that locker room than Matt Rule would ever be. He earned the respect in that locker room from everybody down to the water boy. Cam Newton earned it, and Matt Rule couldn't stand it because he know cats would follow Cam before they would follow Matt Rule.
Facts. Now, not only quarterback, gonna also need to be looking offensive coordinator. Now, off the top of my head, Panthers history, two that I can think of that I would say were superior for this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Rod Chudzinski and
Awesome,
Mr. Mike Shula.
awesome.
Those are the two. Those I like to base a blueprint off of
Mm-hmm.
because they both have the accolades to back that up.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, Rod Chudzinski was a big part of what turned the Carolina Panthers offense into a top 10 offense.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Shula, Panthers offensive
Mm-hmm.
coordinator, the Super Bowl run and the I believe all three back to back to back in NFC South division championships.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need somebody equivalent or higher to that will play and call to the strengths of the offense.
And you know, one of the great things that they all had in common is they all had a great relationship with the guy behind center.
Facts.
That relationship, y'all believe it or not, really does matter because you know your quarterback, you know your coordinator. There was a relationship between all these coordinators and a quarterback that to me was the best in franchise history. Ben McAdoo, again, Baker Mayfield is not his choice. Sam Darnold was not his choice. PJ Walker was not his choice.
Hmm.
Heck, Steve Wilkes was not the choice because he was brought in here by Matt Rule. So, and I saw a quote that Ben McAdoo made, which is funny but true. He said, "As long as the key still works, then it's a great day." I don't know how much longer your key gonna be working if you and who's ever on the center or you and the head coach are not on the same page. And I would have
Exactly.
loved to have been a fly on the wall with that conversation between him and Coach Wilkes because I want to know what was said because I know damn well uh, y'all couldn't have talked about let's run, 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 screen, screen, screen all game long. You couldn't have said that. That couldn't have been your game plan. It couldn't have. It's I, bro. I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe that Coach Wilkes said, "Let's just run and screen them all game." That makes no sense.
Yeah, I highly agree. Like it seems off. It seems off. And if you ask me, like I'm at that point where I would be crazy enough to one offer Steve Smith an ironclad contract to coach the wide receivers and some way somehow have Luke Kuechly on this defense.
I mean, we got nothing to lose.
I mean, when it was at the point where even in the press conference Luke Kuechly was brought up, Steve Wilkes said, "Oh, coaching or playing?"
Whichever one you want to put him at, player.
Shoot, and he did not hesitate. Coaching or playing.
Hey, Kiki was in the building the other day. He was in the building. I'm just saying, he would be a heck of a coach. He still he could play.
At least pick the dude's brain cuz like
Dude, Kuechly was one of, if not the smartest linebacker in NFL history. And I'm not saying it because he was a Panther. The dude was super smart and it had the athleticism to back it up.
yeah,
You can't deny that. You can't fight that. You can't challenge that. Kuechly is calling out plays before the plays even ran. Because the
yeah.
man studied film. Like that's just who he was. Man. Like I miss those days.
Also, I did not realize this until I looked it up and it shocked the mess out of me. I had no idea Luke Kuechly had 18 interceptions. 18?
Oh, Kuechly was a dog.
I didn't
He
remember
was
him
a
getting
dog.
that many.
Kuechly. That's my bro. Kuechly was a dog. Him and TD was one of the best, if not the best, linebacker core we've had in this franchise's history.
Like, I knew he got a handful of interceptions, but I didn't think he got 18.
Kuechly was that dude. He could hit you sideline to sideline, and he could cover. That's what I'm saying. We have yet to replace that. I don't think you can fully. That's why I was hoping for. What's our boy that played for the Seahawks? Um, was it Ingram? Bobby? No, was it? What was
Bobby
his name?
Wagner?
Bobby Wagner was the closest thing that I could say came to Luke Kuechly that I wish we would have got him over here.
Yeah.
But I can understand why he didn't come. I get it.
Oh, so Thomas Davis had more sacks than Luke, but Luke had more interceptions.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we
TD
had a
had
national.
yeah, TD had 13 interceptions.
We had a nasty linebacker core, dude. When those two were there, healthy,
Shoot, they would compete for stats.
who you getting tonight? You getting? I'm getting it. Okay, who get more tackles today? Me or you? Okay, don't worry. I'll meet you there. But they pushed each other and they held. What I loved about Thomas Davis and what I love about Luke Kuechly is they held everybody accountable. Everybody. Luke Kuechly was not scared. Thomas Davis was not scared to get in your face. How many times they got in Josh Norman's face?
Mm,
Bro, get yourself together. We need you. TD would get in Cam's face like, yo, bro, get it together. Like, we need you. Come on, come on, come on. Like, that's what being an alpha dog, being a leader is. You're not going to be well liked all the time. Your
Mm-hmm.
teammates are going to hate you at points, but that's the cost of being one of the leaders. Your teammates are not going to like you all the time.
Right.
Oh well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to win. You may not like me, but you're damn sure going to respect me. And they garnered everybody's respect in that locker room because they deserve it. You think everybody on that team loved Cam all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Hell no. Nah. But you
Exactly.
respected that. You respected him because he went out and did his job every day. He did his job. So until we find that consistency, until we find that alpha on the defense, now JC Horn missed him. JC Horn is the best cornerback in football right now. You can't debate that. His numbers don't lie.
Yep.
JC Horn is locking people down.
Yep.
That's his thing. That's the alpha dog. Jeremy Chin, when he's on the field, is one of the best safeties in the game. Do not deny that. Jeremy Chin is flying around. He's doing his thing. So we have two good pieces in the secondary. He didn't get a sack today, or did he? Brian Burns is still he's still a leader on the defense. He's not an alpha dog
Mm-hmm.
per se because the sacks still not get there, but he's getting pressure. Again, Derek Brown and Ionitis are coming into their own. They're looking like a legit 1-2 punch up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
We do not at this point in time. It could be Brandon Smith. It could be one of these other linebackers. We need somebody to flash in that linebacking room
Right.
to show that they want to take control and lead this defense. As much as I love Shaq, Shaq has his moments where Shaq it does his thing, but Shaq also has his moments where Shaq disappears. He overplays. He's not in the right coverage position. It's just something doesn't flash. But all that can be negated when you have the lead dog under center. I'm gonna keep beating that point until we get to that point, and until we convert on third downs. This is killing us. We're the worst in the league as far as third down conversions on offense. The worst.
Yep. We are.
Until we get that fixed, we're putting our defense in a position to fail because we're not holding our own on offense. So somebody needs to come in here and take the reins on offense, whether it be trade, draft. Somebody needs to come in here and say, "Hey, we believe in you. This is what we're doing. We're going to game plan this offense around the quarterback and the weapons we already have."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is what we're failing to do as an organization at this point. But we took the first step in getting rid of Matt.
Also, I'm still seeing way too many RPOs.
PJ Walker's. I mean,
Cause not
we're
one
not
time did
we're
he run
not
a
built like that.
yeah. Cause like not one time at all did he run a RPO where he kept the ball.
Not once.
Like
Not one time.
Ben McAdoo, you're you're a dead giveaway right now. You're a dead giveaway. Like when you're doing screen, run, screen, they're gonna catch on. They're not just creeping up closer for just any random reason. Oh man.
They when we as fans are calling the game sitting on the sideline or watching it from the television show, you know what's about to happen. It's bad. But what I did like, and I know we lost. What I did like is we implemented. Dante Foreman came in.
Mhm.
Cooper Hubbard came in.
Mhm.
So we started using all the running backs a little bit more.
Mhm.
I did like. Now, as far as everything else goes, stop calling 500 screen. It looks like you're playing Madden
Yeah.
against your little brother,
Seriously.
and you don't know what you're doing. It looks bad. So again, I'm going to give them a slight pass this week because again we're playing defending Super Bowl champions. You just fired your head coach.
Hmm.
You can have all the great practices in the world you want to, and you're still playing with the fourth string quarterback. Let's be realistic here. I mean, that's everybody. It's just this was not the week. It would have been cool, but again, you fired your head coach. You got rid of your defensive coordinator. You're on down to your fourth string quarterback.
Hmm.
You're on a short week, so to speak, with a interim head coach playing the defending Super Bowl champions. You have everything against you right now. So the fact that we were still in the game at halftime, still in the game, shows me if you give Steve Wilkes something to actually work with, we will be okay. That I see glass half full.
Yeah.
Again, glass half full because of everything I just mentioned. We could have got blown out, but he at least kept this team, for the most part, competitive
Right.
with a fourth string quarterback and your number two receiver having a hissy fit and having to be sent to the locker room.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
So, final thoughts. I'll say this. We got Tampa Bay, which I believe that is an away game. Yeah, it's an away game. Oh, no, no, no. It's a home game. It's a home game.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a home game. So we're going back home. We're on a 3-game losing streak right now.
hmm.
Now, this Bucks game, who just lost to the Steelers.
Hmm.
Now, the quarterback situation is in flux right now because, PJ in the concussion protocol. I'm not sure if, Baker, Sam, or if Eason is going to get the rub, but we need to go into this next game with a sense of urgency, especially on offense. Defense, like I said, we did get a turnover, a pick six, and I know we're looking kind of thin with the injuries, but capitalize more on what was working because we're going into another situation where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't have that strong of an offensive line.
Nope.
So if we can get the pressure like we were getting, I mean, especially up the middle, I think Derek Brown and Matt Ioannidis will be in another position to be able to eat. Brian Burns,
Mhm.
YGM, I gotta see more from them, especially YGM. YGM's a little bit quiet, little bit quiet. Um, but I really want to see a sense of urgency to execute on the coaching side and the players side, especially for offense.
Mhm. That's second that motion.
Because I better not see another 10 for 16, 60 yards passing. I better not see anything like that again.
Wow.
That was equivalent to the amount of times we ran in the Browns game.
It was
That's
bad.
that's not gonna cut it.
It was bad. It was bad.
Ben McAdoo, you need to throw away your one-dimensional bullcrap of a playbook and pull out the real thing.
Please, immediately.
Stop being so obsessed with Chris McCaffrey. Know that he is going to eat. He's going to eat. That is apparent. But your whole offense is not Christian McCaffrey. Y'all just paid a super big extension to DJ Moore. Let him loose. You have a fresh Terrace Marshall Jr. now who is entering into the game and playing. Let him loose. Hollywood Higgins. Where like are you going to put him in the game? Let him loose. Your thoughts?
We just, I'm just gonna piggyback off what you just said. We have we have young talent. We have veteran presence in the wide receiver locker room. Let them eat. Let them eat. Now, to this point, did a lot of these injuries affecting the defense? Absolutely. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the defense isn't bugged by injuries, but so are the other teams in the NFL as well. With Frankie Louvu, who's been playing lights out to help his defense when he comes back, you better believe that he will.
Hmm.
When Jeremy Chin comes back from injury, will he help his defense? Absolutely, daggone right he will. When J.C. Horn comes back, will this defense improve? Absolutely. We're not trying to sit here and say that our team is not plagued by injuries. The defense, for the most part, and I'm going to stand on this, has not been the problem. A couple of players have. T.J. Henderson. Um, but besides that, the offense is not giving the defense a chance to rest. And we don't give a defense a chance to rest. And I'm constant. By the time I sit down and take my helmet off, I got to put my helmet back on.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
barely got a chance to get a drink of water. I'm looking back at the scoreboard, and it's third and long. I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. Ben McAdoo, we're going home. Get with whoever it needs to be. Baker, PJ, Eason, insert name. Come up with a game plan where you two get on each other's nerves, like husband and wife.
Hmm.
This is what we're doing. DJ needs to be involved a lot more, and more than on a daggone screen pass. Terrace Marshall, to your point, needs to be more involved. You brought in Rashad Hollywood Higgins for a reason. It's not just because of his name. Why is he not on the field? Let these boys play. Chenault had a great pass. Of course, it was on the screen, but I know his hamstring is acting up. But I hope he can come back.
Hmm.
But whoever it is, you have three good running backs. I didn't say great. You have one great. Foreman is good. Hubbard has shown flashes.
Hmm.
Find ways to get each one of them involved in the game so they can all make an impact. And again, Steve Wilkes, I'm rooting for you, my brother. I really am. And again, we didn't get the result we were looking for, but at least for everything that's going on in that organization and the super blow up that Robbie Anderson had, my brother Steve Wilkes, you at least had this team competitive.
Hmm.
We looked like we were ready to play again with a fourth. I'm keep emphasizing that, y'all. A fourth string quarterback that we didn't even know was going to be on this roster
Right.
until Sam Darnold got hurt. Let's be
Right.
real. Sam Darnold got hurt. Matt Corral got hurt. So PJ Walker, for all intents and purposes, was not even supposed to be on this roster. Let's be real about that one. He
Facts.
wasn't supposed to be here.
Facts.
Injuries play a big part into why PJ Walker is still on this team. That and Matt Rule. PJ Walker, for all what he did in the XFL and whatever he did, was not supposed to make this roster.
Hmm.
Matt Corral does not get injured in that preseason game. I can damn well guarantee you PJ Walker's not here. It would have been
Agreed.
Darnold, Baker, Matt Corral. PJ
Agreed.
Walker would have been on the practice squad, you know what I'm saying? Or he wouldn't have been here at all.
Right.
So
Hmm.
now, because of injuries at the quarterback position, you have PJ Walker and a guy that we would just sign up from my practice squad, Tyler East, Taylor, whatever his name is, Easton, Jacob
Jacob
Easton,
Eason. Yeah.
who just got called up
Hmm.
from a practice squad, from another team practice squad.
Yep.
That, of course, he has a rocket front arm, but there's a reason to keep bouncing around from practice squad to practice squad because you're not an NFL quarterback.
Right.
So we're playing with two guys that are not meant to be starting or not to be meant to be playing any kind of minutes in the NFL right. So to that point, let's get with them and let's get to some type of formula that's going to work to get everybody moving forward. The loss happened. We're all mad about it. On the flight home, get with whoever you need to get with. Got Fitterer, get on the phone, call Baltimore. Say, hey, Lamar don't want to resign with y'all. We'll start off with CMC, and then y'all make an offer from there.
And if you
Or
gotta and if you gotta stay in touch like for extended periods of time, so be it.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind a Lamar Jackson jersey. My son's sitting over here wouldn't mind a Lamar Jackson Panthers jersey. I'm just saying. Or call Detroit,
Jared
call
Goff.
Tennessee, call somebody. But to that point, man, like I said, I know it sucks because we have been going through this losing over the past few years under Matt Rule and now today. But again, y'all, just to look at it in perspective, we're playing with a quarterback that's not being in the league right now, and another quarterback that's on practice squads. And we got a lot of our secondary that's banged up. So
Yep.
we'll be
And
good.
but before I cut this and give the outro, for all the PJ Walker loving worshipers, he is now 2-1. I don't want to hear any more, oh, he's undefeated. It's over. 2-1. Let it go. This has been another this has been another Carolina Panthers talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming and the Bleeding Carolina Blue podcast. It has been a pleasure and an honor hosting this. DJ Mr. Carolina, thank you for joining me as usual.
Absolutely.
Give them the word on where they can find you.
Hey man, you can find your boy at Bleeding Carolina Blue Show here on YouTube, man, or you can holler at me on the Anchor app, on the Men of Honor Kings United show as well. You can holler at me on Instagram on Mr. Carolina too. But that's where you can find your boy at.
Right on, right on. And of course, for me, here, Blitzball Champ Gaming, also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, you name it. But 1-5, but keep pounding. We're gonna get through this some way, somehow. And hopefully this organization gets their act together and we can celebrate soon with more to
I'm
follow.
calling victory for next week. I'm calling a victory next week.
Victory over the Bucks next week, back at home.
I'm calling.
Let's go get it. Let's go
I'm
get it.
calling.
So, for Blitzball Champ and
Mr. Carolina, man, holla at your boy.
we will see y'all in the next live podcast. Hey, everybody, have a blessed week and stay safe.